Blow and Belton, but they don't.
Hello, ladies.
Well, that was a whole experience all by itself.
I hope it rocked your soul. I worked on that intro for days and days and
I
to
can tell.
perfection. And I have to say that anyone that does their own editing, I praise you, because running this show, just the editing alone is a lot. And then you want it to look really good. So, and I'm a perfectionist because I'm a Virgo. So,
Right.
So you enjoyed it though, Sheri? Did you enjoy that whole experience?
I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided.
It'll come to you tonight. This is Miss Sheri, everyone. This is episode 6, Sheri Baby. She's a vendor in the store. Hi and welcome, Miss Sheri.
Hello.
And Miss Mish is here. She's here tonight.
Yes, hello.
And then our audio guy is in the background somewhere.
Mr. Techno.
Like a phantom in the night somewhere, just hanging around, stalking like a gargoyle.
He needs to wear one of those masks.
Which one?
The phantom mask. You know,
oh, yes. Because I ripped off like 3 different things. I was wondering.
Elizabeth, can I get the phone number for the call-in, please?
Oh, you've caught me off guard here. Give me just a minute and I will send it right on over to you. So let's go ahead and lead in with Miss Sheri. Sheri has a booth in our store, number 13, Crazy Rock Lady.
Right.
Let's talk about your booth a little bit. Do you want to talk about how long you've been in the store now?
Oh, it's been, let's see.
2, 3, 2.5?
Well, I came like right after you guys opened.
I think you're 3 years.
I think so, because it was.
I'm quite positive you are.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, because I came in like the end of December or January, and you guys opened in November.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, you've been a while.
However long you guys have been open is how long I've been there, pretty much.
Listen, she was there for a night whenever we were having a woo-woo, and then I had some like Dollar Tree tea to the side, and I met Sheri when she came up to me and she had her cup, and she said in a British accent, "Please, ma'am, I want some more." Like off the Charles Dickens
Little
movie.
Timmy.
Yes, I was like, I instantly knew I was gonna like Sheri because she was playing with me right off the bat. You've been so much fun. Honestly, you have been a blast. You always have the best stories.
Oh, thanks.
You do. They're so much fun. So let's start with what started you kind of opening the booth. What made you kind of go in that direction?
Okay. Let's see how far back I want to go. So a while back, a cousin of mine, she was doing wire wrapping with stones and stuff, and I wanted to learn how to do it. And so she sent me some tutorials and gave me some pointers and stuff. And so I started ordering raw stones, and I started like learning how to wire wrap them and I made keychains. So what I did is I made keychains for them, and I sold them for $5 a piece, and they like helped me pay for Christmas and things like that. And so so what I did was I would buy bulk, and then you go through them and you figure out the ones that you can wrap, and the ones that you can't wrap, you just kind of put them away, and you put them in a bucket or whatever, and for later. And I've been doing that for about 2 years. And so when I first came to the shop, it was my daughter Micah introduced me to Leah, who she was like, she mentioned that, we needed macrame person because I did macrame. And so let's see, that was how it started with my plant hanging and stuff. And so we were sitting there one night and we were all talking about needing a rock person. You can't really have a metaphysical store without, rocks in there. So, and I just happened to mention I might have, a few rocks that I could bring and we could sell. And so she said, okay, we'll bring them up here in the next, a couple of days and we'll see what you got. And so I show up with I had 5 buckets, big buckets full of rocks. So me and Leah, mainly, and then there's been a couple other people that came in and tried to help. Just when that big long table was in the back room.
It's still back there too. And that's what I was just sitting here thinking. I remember you guys doing that couple of days and all the energy that was.
We took over that whole table and we just got bags and she showed me how to clean them and how to get them, washed up and how to figure out which ones, how much to price them. And she taught me, took about almost 2 weeks to go through to get them all done. And there was so much. And so then I walked in and she said, well, look, it's the crazy rock lady. So that's, I always wanted to be the crazy something, I used to want to be the crazy cat lady, but then after I started getting cats, I realized I don't like cats well enough to.
Listen, Sheri came in a few times before she became a vendor, and we always had a really good time with Sheri on Woo Woos. We would just, I didn't know where she came from or who she was, and then I, slowly started to meet her and realize how much fun we were all having. So, of course, I was really excited when you came with the crystals. I was like, yes, finally, because that was the biggest request was crystals and rocks and stuff. So you answered a lot of, and you have a booklet. I love the booklet. I don't feel like the booklet is appreciated as much as I feel like it should be because you have a whole freaking directory to your booth. Nobody else has a directory to their booth.
Yeah. Well, I started just, I decided to start researching the rocks and stuff. And so what I do is I clean them up and then I package them each individually and I have a label on there. And on the label, it gives at least 3 different benefits for each rock. And so I needed to keep up with what there was and wasn't. So I started making this list. And so then the list kind of turned into a little pamphlet thing and it just kind of kept growing. And I was like, well, you know what? I think it'd be nice for people to be able to look at that and see what they want because, see if there's anything, look at the name and then they can look for the rock because it started off with, I just had the front little bitty tiny corner where I had my macrame stuff and then some signs. And then once I got my rocks, then I didn't fit in the corner. So then I graduated to a little bit bigger booth on the other side, kind of where Deborah is now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, you've moved around a little bit.
Yeah, and that was kind of small, but I made like a little stand thing. I was trying to figure out how to organize them. So I got them all priced and I had them, displayed, but I didn't really like the way it was displayed because you couldn't really look at them. And it was about just price. And so then I said, well, some people come in looking for they want something for health or they want something for calm or they want something for anxiety. And so I decided just to separate them. And a different thing. Well, once my booth started actually like selling and getting good, then I graduated to a bigger one on the other side of the wall. And let's see, that one my booth kind of encroached on another booth that kind of squeezed in and it wasn't really. So then the one, my nice booth I got now kind of opened up and I moved over there. And
it's ideally what I wish everybody in the store had. Honestly.
It's my home now. It's where I live. It's my place.
I know, and you can tell you take a good. Even Ahava would say, right now, if she was here, you're the one that always mastered getting every rule down when it came to pricing and labeling and all that. Not that y'all want to hear all that, but she does a very good job of staying organized.
I
try. She's very, very. Oh yeah, you're good at it, girl. You're good at it.
Well, I've got OCD, so I kind of.
Oh, do you?
I do. I do diagnosed OCD.
I didn't know that. Yes. I just thought that you were like me. You were just crazy and did all kinds of random stuff because you liked it. I didn't know.
No, it's OCD. So I like to have everything, easy to get to, and I try to find easier ways to do things, or easier, and it always ends up with one extra step more. It never ends up being the easier way,
I
but
understand
yeah,
that completely.
but I have it all organized, and my shelves and stuff that I've made. Now the coffee table thing that one shelf is sitting on, you gave me, but the other little shelf thingies, somebody gave them to me a long time ago, and they were like falling apart, and they were out in my shop, and I was going to throw them away, and then I looked at them, I was like, you know what, I bet you I could clean these up and maybe use them. So I did. I brought them in, I washed them, and then I painted them, and I started like doing, and I brought them up there, and they work perfect. They fit perfect on that coffee table, and then perfect on that shelf. And
Yeah, your booth does look really nice.
thanks. I add all
The-
kinds of different stuff to it.
Oh, we
I'm
love them.
kind of getting away from getting as many rocks as now. I've been doing like runes. I've been making runes.
Have you really?
Yes, I've got several rune sets up there. I got the Elder Fathark sets. Then I've got like little drawstring back here. I'll show you. I got
How
I-
often do you go up there,
like a little
Sheri?
drawstring bag that's reversible that has the runes. But it has a set of one set of the Elder Fathark runes, and it has a set of binding runes, and it has like a little guide in there, and everything inside the deal. So I've got those. And then recently Michael had asked me about, I've had those for a while. And then Michael asked me about making witches runes, which are, different. And so I looked them up, and I did some research and stuff, and I started working, and I engrave them. I have I have these pebbles, like these little black pebbles, and I engrave on there the different runes and stuff. And so I've got a whole bunch now of witches runes that I've got up there for sale.
Now, Tish, you just now asked Cherry a question. What was you asking, babe?
How often do you go up there and mess with your booth?
Not near as often as I used to, and not near as often as I want to or should.
That's the curse of the store.
Probably every time. Well, right now I've got Piper and everything, and it's kind of complicated. But about maybe every week, couple weeks. If we have woo woos on Wednesdays, I do it. I just use that time, to go and at least straighten up my booth and kind of look at it and see if anything's been, moved around, or try to make it look better.
Right.
I'll try to at least bring something new up there, but
rotate out something, make it seem like it's brand new.
Yeah, or move it around, kind of give it a new look.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Bobby closing next door. It's so sad.
Is that the antique place?
Yes. Listen, he started.
Listen, forever.
On top of that, he started shopping back on Main Street again for people. People weren't shopping for the longest time. There was nowhere to go. And he provided a space for people to go with antiques. And then he had little crystals here and there. And he's part of the reason I was able to even talk myself into opening the store, because he had he didn't have real crystals, but he had some cool stuff there. And he was like, you should open a store. So here comes Sheri. Thank God. My goodness. Because I'm going to be honest with you. We kept trying to get people with rocks and stones, and it just never worked out. And this one really did work out. That's probably the first place a lot of people go when they come in is to Sheri's booth.
I've heard that. I've had a lot of people say that they, it really makes me happy. It makes my heart happy, because, I like to share the gift, of the rocks and their benefits and that kind of stuff. And I don't really make a whole lot off of my booth, because I don't price them very high, because I like people to be able to afford them, which
everyone appreciates that.
Yeah.
Because, anywhere you go right now, what you sell, it's crazy. You can take a $20 bill in your booth and go haywire, though. You could just go nuts in it.
Yeah,
because
that's
there's
kind of
so
the
much
idea.
stuff there.
Yeah, that's the idea. I want people to be able to do that, because also, it's also if you can sell more things at a lower price, you make more money than if you sell one thing at a higher price.
Yep, I make more money. I make more money off stickers.
Yeah,
I make 25-cent stickers probably brings in quite a bit for me. I won't go over numbers, but it's ridiculous. It's probably half my booth payment is 25-cent stickers. Because it's something that someone can afford, even if you don't got no money at all, you can come in there and do it, what Frederick? Frederick made a phrase that oh my God, and hit his head. Um, so anyway, sorry guys. I got distracted.
Oh,
It
young
happens.
love.
Do what? What'd you say,
I said,
Sheri?
young love.
Oh, you make me want to go really into that song right now.
Oh,
But either way, we really have had a blast, a blast. Now, my next question for you is, now obviously I'm not trying to be intrusive. Has the booth led you in different paths of lives now that you don't think that you would have ever been doing, or
oh,
has it opened any doors for you?
absolutely, yeah. Because I mean, I've always liked rocks. When I was a kid, I used to collect rocks, and I had a pet rock named George, and
Oh my goodness, how freaking cute.
I know, and he had I made him a little cardboard box room, and he had a little bed, and anyway.
Oh my God, I did that too.
That's
Did you?
freaking
Yeah.
precious.
Yeah.
I've always loved rocks anyways. And so when this started, and I started actually like researching, like actually kind of looking into when I realized that they have, different benefits and started learning about them, they put me on a whole different path of learning about energy, learning about vibration, learning about, how that we interact with, everything around us and how that we can help each other, so yeah, it really has. It sent me down a whole different learning path. Like opened up a whole can of worms.
A journey.
So-
A journey. It sounds like. It sounds like
Right,
it sent
on
you.
the right journey.
Absolutely, it was
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. So I
Yeah,
started.
because you're always doing something. I was about to say you're very active in the things that you're doing now. I always see you post or talking about it at least.
I try to be. I'm trying to. I kind of got into a little hermit mode there for a while, and I had like
I understand and respect that wholeheartedly.
yeah. I kind of had some issues. Like, well, first of all, I had some what do you call it? A caregiver fatigue, because I had
Oh,
Piper,
yeah.
and that started getting overwhelming. And then I had no help with her. And the more it discontinued, the worse I got. And then as she got bigger and older, now she got to where I couldn't take her anywhere. I couldn't take her in public. I couldn't take her, to the restaurants with me. I couldn't take her shopping with me anymore. I couldn't, anything like that. And so then I became kind of a prisoner. And it just that caregiver fatigue and burnout is a real thing.
It's hard.
It
It's very
really is.
hard.
I had to go to the crisis. I've been at the crisis unit twice for caregiver fatigue. And
Goodness,
I love my
Sheri.
daughter. I love my baby. She's my child. She's been my heart and soul. She's nonverbal. She's got Angelman syndrome, and she's nonverbal. She's about 24 months mentally, but she's 20 years old. She's not potty trained. She can't communicate at all. It's a whole thing. So that's been really overwhelming to me. However, now I've gotten her back on her Social Security. I've got her. I've got her her application for her DDSD thing for her to get in some kind of like a residential home or to go, so she can move on with her life and there'll be people that take care of her. Because when she graduated from high school, she spent 12 years, in school all day where she had assistants and teachers and paras and friends, kids all around her. They had activities constantly all day long,
Right.
She was
Right.
always entertained every day. Well, then when school was out, it was literally just me.
Goodness.
She kind of, I didn't really consider how it was affecting her, until
Right.
recently. I just started thinking I feel terrible because I didn't really think about, since she can't tell me how she feels, I hadn't really thought about. I was always, poor little me. But anyway, so that I'm trying to keep from just completely going under. I'm waiting. She's on some waiting lists.
I know. I was just about to ask you how that was working out.
Yeah,
And
she
Tom?
done. So I've got to wait for a bed to open. So once they're full.
Wow.
Yeah, the ones I wanted to get into that I really liked, they're full. So I've got to wait. They said but she's up for the very next bed that opens up. She gets it,
Awesome.
and she will be so much happier, so much better off. And I'm but it just seems like it's just dragging and dragging and
I
dragging and
bet.
keep going. 'Cause, I mean,
My mom was real sick the last several years of her life, and so I took care of her. And there came a point where she needed to have IV antibiotics, and she was going to have them at the same time every single day. And I told her, listen, I've got 3 kids. I work full time. There's no telling if I will be able to be at home every single day at the same time to be able to give this to you. Like, and if she didn't get it at the same time every day, then she would end up having to go in the hospital for 3 days, and then she would be able to come back out. So it was like it was a big thing. And so she was like, well, you know what? She's like, I think that maybe it's time for me to go ahead and go into a home. And so she went ahead and she picked, a nursing home to go into. And she picked a nursing home up in Tulsa, which is where my sister lives. And because she had lived with me for about 6 years, and we had went through so much, like she had lost several of her toes, then her leg, and then she had 2 strokes, 2 heart attacks. I mean, we went through so many different things. She was on dialysis. And so by this time, I mean, I had been through like hell and back with her. And I had just gotten to where I just couldn't do it anyway at that time. But she had made the decision where she was like, I'm going to go to a nursing home, but I want to do it where your sister lives. She's like, so that I could be her problem, is what she said.
That's funny.
And yeah, she picked the home that she went to. And when she got in there, she actually really liked it. She felt like she had more freedom when she got into the home, and she had friends, and like, because we were too busy every day to like, because we worked, and she was at home by herself most of the time. And but
I had to quit my job because I couldn't find anybody to watch Piper.
I was about to say,
yeah,
I had a pretty decent job. I was able to pay my bills and everything, but I could not find anybody that would watch her, and anybody that wanted more money than I made, to do it. So I ended up having to quit my job, and so now we're just trying to survive on her Social Security until I can find her somewhere to go, because she can't be alone at all. And she's epileptic also. She has 3 different types of seizures, and so she has 2 different types of seizure meds that she takes, that she has to take at the exact same times every morning and every night. And if she misses a dose, if she's like an hour or so off, then she goes into seizures. And so I have to be really careful. Like, I can't go on dates where I'm out past 9 o'clock, because I have to be back by 9 o'clock to give her medicine, because I don't have anybody that will do it for me or change her diapers for me. And when she first started having her seizures, Angelman kids, they either start when they're 3. Let's see what they said, when they're like 3, 5, or puberty. And she started her seizures at puberty, when she started her menses or period or whatever. And she ended up in the hospital, and I got her up there. She became non-responsive, and they had to life flight her to Oklahoma City, and she was there in a coma for 4 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she actually had a 4-word vocabulary before that happened, and after that, she's not spoken a single word since. And that was in 2020. It was my birthday, March 10th, 2020, is when she went in there. And and it was when COVID locked down. So then I was there by myself with my child. And yeah, it was absolutely horrible. So I have that trauma and those memories. So I'm like fanatic over making sure she gets her medicine, making sure that she has it. I cannot go through that again.
You can't even slip up, even if you were tired.
I've been deathly sick. I've had the flu. I had COVID one time, and I thought I was going to die. And I could barely get out of bed, but I still had to get up. I still had to give her medicine. Still had to change her poopy diapers, which is a nightmare.
I can only imagine. My gosh.
Take care of her. And I mean, I can't be sick. I can't take breaks. I can't. And her dad's not involved. She doesn't, none of the family or anybody.
I was just about to ask. I was like, I don't know if I've ever
support group.
asked that before or not. You know, I try to be private. You know, I don't try to be nosy.
Yeah, I have no support group for her whatsoever.
That's awful.
Yeah. Paige, my daughter Paige, now she helps me sometimes. She'll watch her, but I can so I can go to the store or something like that. But I can't get very far away because if she ends up starting to have seizures or something, Paige calls me and I have to stop what I'm doing and run back home and give her rescue meds. And so
her getting to go to one of these homes that you've chosen is going to be a win-win for both people involved.
For both. See, okay. So recently I finally got her an assessment. I mean, this was back in May. Missy went with me up there and I took her up there and we went in and she got to sit down and we went over her paperwork. We went over her diagnosis. We went over everything that they had. It's the one there in Henrietta, the Lake Drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Piper, I was amazed.
That's a good place.
She sat there her best behavior. I've never seen her sit so politely, so quietly. She was like listening, like really trying. And when she's really trying to focus on doing what she's supposed to, she like gets kind of trembly, she was really focused. And while we were there was a couple of other, I guess I say kids, but other people, they came in and they introduced themselves to Piper and I want to be friends. And she was all excited and happy. And they said, okay, well, we'll go ahead and we'll accept her and we'll put her on the wait list. And as soon as the bed opens up and, she'll have, and Piper got excited because she knew that meant that she was going to get to stay there, but she thought she was going to get to stay. And so when we got up to leave, she gets up and she starts trotting to the kitchen where everybody's having lunch and she's getting ready to go sit down at the table and have lunch with everybody. And she's so excited and I have to make her
poor
leave.
Thing.
And that was the most heartbreaking. I mean, just absolutely just
she
broke
wanted
me.
To be there.
I had to fight her out the door and put her in, and she literally cried. And Piper doesn't cry real tears very often, and she cried real tears the entire drive home. And she
said, "I want to stay, Mom."
I know, and so that was when it really hit me that I have not really ever considered how all of this was affecting her.
Right.
She's just as depressed as I am about it.
It's just as hard for her staying home right now. Oh, poor thing.
Yeah.
You guys are like, man, we've roommated up long enough.
Well, she can't really go outside. My back fence got messed. At first, it got blown over with the tornado that came through, and then we tried to fix it. And then, long story short, it got really messed up by some squatters, and then some pieces got stolen off of it. And so I don't have a back fence hardly anymore.
By the way, this is Sheri in a nutshell. She's always got these kinds of fun stories. By the way,
luckily they're minimal now. They're not near as often as they used to be.
It's one of those. If it'll happen, it's going to happen to Sheri.
Oh shit! No, no kidding. And it's always something has got to be just a little bit harder and one extra step. And my let me do this real quick projects are always 2 or 3 hours long.
Mine end up like that too.
Mine do too. Mine didn't.
I'm trying to put a camera up in the back. So I go and I get the camera piece, and then I'm like, so I need a screwdriver. So I can screw the part in after I get it in there. So I come in here to get the screwdriver, and I left the part that I was supposed to screw into it in the bedroom after I took the screwdriver in there. So then I had to come back in here and look for the part. When I got the part, I had the screwdriver in my hand. And I set it down so I could look for the part. I'm telling you, that went back and forth a couple of times. It was ridiculous. And I kept forgetting one piece every single time. It took me like an hour to do a 5-minute job.
Oh
yeah. Oh, listen to you. Oh.
Well, I want it to work out for you the moment it happens. Damn it. Dang it.
I know.
I mean,
I've given up on that. I just accept it and go on.
That's me. That's me. I accept everything that happens. I'm like, this is it. This is what it is. Let's just do it. Let's go with it.
I use my art though. I use my art in the rocks and the wire wrapping and the, all the different things that I'm doing with this. And the earrings and the jewelry and all that stuff that I make, I use that as my my stress relief. It's like it's what keeps me, like when my mind starts going really fast and I can't focus or whatever. If I sit down and I do like a project, it makes
Mhm.
me focus my mind on one thing, and it keeps me it keeps me sane as possible. I
I
think.
get it. That's my little pictures. I go and I print things out, like I did my little Frankenstein here. I did all
Uh,
kinds of I did the whole rabbit hole of her, and we had so much fun together in February and March. And I just decided that that's what I do now. That's how I escape. And I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm doing it for me.
oh wow, I do. I
Yeah.
have a whole bunch of different projects and different avenues. Like I've got sewing projects, and I've got my my rocks and this and the jewelry, and then I've got my runes and the tap, and then I've got those little drawstring bags that I make. I do
Mhm.
those, and then I've got a doll that I'm making for my
So on
granddaughter.
the runes, are you learning the runes as you're making them? Like what started this whole thing? I'm just so curious. This is very new for you.
Well, what started it was we didn't have somebody had asked if we had any in the store, and nobody did,
We're
and
all sold
so
out. Yeah, because I usually carry some and I'm sold out.
yeah.
And then
Well,
Aaron usually hand makes them and he's sold
mhm.
out. We're sold out.
Yeah. So I decided had been making. I'd found these little pebbles and stuff, and I had this engraver, and I'd been making like different designs on them and stuff from like my flower, put them in my plants, and just for fun. And I was like, so I started researching them, and I looked them up, and I started trying to draw them, and made a set. I have a set of my own from a long time ago that I bought. So I kind of tried to duplicate that, and then I was like, well, I made this, and then I make a little bag to carry them in. I try to make like a little, oh, what do you call it? It's a little, it's like a little this thing. So it like tells you what each rune is, and I have the bind runes, and then how to take care of them, and then they come in these little bags that you can carry, keep them in. And
Oh, I like it.
yeah, so I thought, well, I mean, you go where money, you go where the money is. So
Hmm.
if people are asking about these, and if there's a demand for them, then
Right.
might as well,
Oh yeah, I get it.
yeah,
Lots of
and then
costume requests too. Lots of people ask for costumes in the store, but I can't buy cheap costumes and sell them and make my money back, but I sure wish I could.
right,
Costumes are not cheap. Costumes are
No.
expensive. You can't
they're
find cheap
expensive.
costumes.
I thought about making some because I sew. I like to sew, and I sew quite a bit, and I've thought about making some costumes and trying, but the material, the amount of the cost of the
That's why I
material.
think, we used to have a girl
Yeah,
that sold blankets in the store and she never made her money back on the yards of money that she spent on the
Yeah,
fabric. And it ended up being a very bad thing for her because I think that we all assumed everybody would want to buy those blankets. It was like middle of winter, but people don't, if they don't have it, they don't have it. They can't afford to
right.
buy a $60, $80 blanket.
Right, when they have them at the store for $15, $20, you
Now, if
can
it
still
spoke
get a
to you
fuzzy
and it
one.
meant something to you and you had it in your back pocket and you said, I absolutely have to have this, you would, but it just was,
Right.
not working out. So I could see you wasting your time on the costume stuff. But you know what I keep thinking is you always see it on clearance, and I always tell myself to buy it when I see it on clearance after Halloween. I always forget.
Well, you know what I used to do when my kids were little? I liked my daughter. I made a lot of her dresses and a lot of her clothes and stuff, and I always made all my curtains and all that stuff. So what I did though is I used to go garage selling a lot. I would save all my change, and then when it got to a certain point, like when garage sale season came along, then I had like this big thing of change, and I'd go cash it in, and that's the money I would spend at garage sales. And if you go and you get like a extra large 2XL dress or a skirt or something, that's yards and yards of fabric. And you
It
get it
is.
for 50 cents for a dollar or something like that. And you can take that and use that as fabric and make clothes out of it, make whatever you want out of it. But that's what I used to do is I
That's
went and
really smart, Sherry.
that
bought
is
dresses
smart.
or the really big clothes. Yeah.
If I ever get that low in life, I need to learn how to sew so I can make me some clothes.
Right?
Because like that's
Right.
a nifty little idea right there, honestly.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a survivor.
You- oh my gosh, I instantly thought about Reba McEntire when you did that.
Oh God, never mind. Never mind.
My
you not like?
sister used to use old clothes and make me sew me Barbie clothes out of old
Oh,
Yeah.
clothes.
Now,
Yeah.
I used to do that. Now, my scraps and stuff, I would give to my daughter Paige, and
Mhm.
she would make Barbie clothes out of my scraps and stuff.
that's so
Yep.
funny.
Yeah, and I used to make baby doll clothes for my daughter because her dolls were her babies. My oldest daughter,
Aw.
her dolls were her children. Like she had certain ones that she took care of, and she would give me instructions. She was like 6 years, 7 years old. She'd give me instructions before she would leave for school in the morning. And to what I'm supposed to tell, you're supposed to feed this one. You're supposed to make sure that you change this one and put this in, let this one. Da, 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 da. So I'd be like, okay, okay. So then she would go to school, and I'd be going about my day, and I'd realize the bus is getting ready to run, and I hadn't done it. So I'd run in the bedroom real quick.
Oh my gosh.
I'd go in there and I'd change this one here, and I'd scoot it over here, and I'd move it around, and I'd
That's so
tuck this one
funny.
in, and then she would come in, and how have my children been? But
She
she
was probably
wanted.
so interested to see which way they were going to be laying and positioned and what they were doing, wasn't she?
Oh, she would be so
That's funny.
disappointed in me if I'd forgotten or didn't do what she.
Oh,
Yeah, she would.
oh, that's so
Yeah, she
cute,
would just
Sheri.
shake her head. Oh, mom, I can't believe this. This is your grandchild. She'd say.
Oh, that's good.
That's great.
I can't
Yeah.
cuss on here, and I'm
Uh,
trying not to.
oh, I did earlier. I'm so sorry.
I slipped out one too, but I know that I know that me and you both was like, we're not gonna cuss, but I almost keep cussing. So I'm so sorry, guys.
I try really hard not to.
Me
It's just
too.
sometimes, certain circumstances, just golly gosh, gee willikers just doesn't cut it. You know what I mean?
Nope. Everyone knows what my favorite word is. It's gotta and I say it as much as when I worked at the bank, I was so disciplined at that point. I knew how to not do it. It was just like natural. And then once I quit working at the bank and I started working at the dive bar, it was just all else out the window. You didn't have to watch what you said. So
Mhm.
I'm having to recurve myself into saying, okay, Alicia, it's time to stop being unprofessional and stop using the cuss words as much in your daily routine of life.
Well, I've always had little bitty kids, and I taught preschool. I taught 2-year-olds for a
Did
couple
you
of years.
really?
Yes, a preschool, and 14 2-year-olds. I had to. I started to say housebroke. Had to potty train them, but I had to really be really careful what I said because well, my kids and then 2-year-old, they repeat everything, so I was always really careful with, and I never used to cuss, especially never used to say the F word. That was just never in my vocabulary until my life took a dramatic turn, and I kind of discovered a part of myself that I didn't really know was there. And that kind of part, like I get, the angrier I get, or the more, upset I get, the more bad words will slip. And then,
That's understandable.
yeah, it was kind of
Yeah.
liberating though. It really was.
Like getting to go scream in a bush.
Scream in a bush. No,
Have you ever screamed in a bush?
no,
I promise.
I've never been mad enough at a bush to scream at it.
Oh, it wasn't the bush's fault. It was just muffling me.
The bush.
When I was a little girl, that's what I would go do.
A bush. I would think
I
I think a pillow.
slept
My
in
granddaughter uses a
bushes.
pillow.
Yeah, I would be
How
like,
would a bush muffle? It's
6
just,
or 7. To me, when I was 6 or 7, I sure thought it did, Sheri. I thought it was muffling
okay. It didn't
all
actually,
the.
but it was okay.
Yeah, I don't do it as
I
a
got it.
grown adult, but when I was a little girl, I used to really go into that bush and just let it go.
Huh.
I
See, I
know.
spent so much time alone in the last several years that I've gotten to where that I've forgotten how to have an inner monologue, and I just talk or argue or whatever. There's nobody here to care. You know what I mean? Nobody here.
To
So,
hear you, yeah, I can see that.
yeah. Then once I get people actually around me, I forget. And then they think I'm crazy. But
I'm like the opposite, and I say it in my head all the time and expect people to like read my mind. And I'm like, oh, did I not say that out loud? And they're like, no, they're like waiting for me to answer. And I already thought I did.
Oh,
I know
shoot.
so many people like that, and that is so frustrating.
Well, I'm going through perimenopause, so I'm just a walking, talking B word right now everywhere I go. So just sprinkling my little seeds with my perimenopause. I don't know who I am right now.
Mine's actual menopause, and I'm in my crone villain era right now.
Now, what is a crone villain era? What is
Well,
that?
crone / villain. It's the where you're sick of everyone's crap and you don't care anymore, and you just
I
say
do what I
you
want.
and
I think that's
do what I want.
perimenopause too, though.
Don't care what anybody says.
I'm such a
Yeah.
people pleaser. This perimenopause has got me in a whole other level these days.
Dude, I used to be such a people pleaser
Me
when I was
too.
younger. I mean, constantly to the point where it caused people to run over me a lot, take advantage of a lot, and it made me look weak, and I don't know. It caused me a lot of hurt. So I finally got to a point where that I just had enough. It got up to here, and I finally just exploded one day. And you know that saying, "You see red." I always thought that was just like a metaphor, or just like a figure of speech. And no, there's actually a point that I never knew about, that when you get pushed to a certain point of rage or anger, that literally everything like turns red. Like everything turns red, and you're watching yourself, and you just blow up. And that was crazy.
Yeah, I've done that too.
Yeah,
Not so proud of those moments.
I was too. Oh my gosh, that was like so empowering. It was.
She's like, heck yeah.
Sure.
Well,
Feel a
I
little
always
bit of
try to make
this.
everybody happy, and I always apologize, and I always try to be I'm really good at like what do you call it? What conflict resolution. I'm like extremely good at customer service. I'm really good at trying to keep everybody happy and try to keep everybody calm and all that kind of stuff. And but it just was like, why? I mean, nobody does that for me.
So would you say all these things are kind of going in between all these things with Piper, and are you just pretty much having highs and lows throughout this last 20 years of this journey with her, would you say?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, in 2018, is when I started I call it my awakening. I mean, it was like literally a night and day change. Like, I went, I'm not going to say that everything that come up to it, but usually there's like a major incident, a major thing, a big, huge blow up tower moment that happens right before an awakening. And where you're like at a really low point in your life, and then all of a sudden, things start happening. And I remember I walked outside and it was raining and it was cold, and I looked up and there was this, and I was by myself. I didn't have my phone. Anyways, I looked up and there was a sign, and it was the time. It was like a big clock, and it said 11:11 on it, and it just stood out. And from that moment, I started seeing 11:11 and 111 and 22, and started seeing angel numbers everywhere. And somebody mentioned something about it to me, and I looked it up, and I started reading on it and what it meant, and started watching the signs, and it's just been it's been a whole new. That was in 2018 when that started. So yeah.
And then just slowly little other things.
Yeah.
I think the store would have been one of those things, wouldn't you think?
The store changed my life, literally. I mean, the store saved my life more than once, because when I first came to the store, I was absolute isolation. Like the only people that I had around me were people that were using me and hurting me, and I had nobody else, literally no one else. And I felt so outcast. I felt like, the black sheep. I felt like nobody understood. I felt like that nobody really could get, there was nobody else out there like me, and everybody thought I was weird. I was ashamed. I was afraid, to be who I was, and everybody was always judging, and I didn't feel comfortable sharing my truth, sharing my my journey, and then sharing myself, yeah, and who I was learning that I was, who I was becoming, because I had never really had much of an identity. I was a very young mother. I was 13 when I had my first baby, and so my whole identity basically revolved around my upbringing, and then around my kids, and around other people. And so it wasn't until in my 40s that I really started trying to, trying to figure out who I actually was as me as a person without all these people making, defining me anyways. So the store, when I first came to the first woo woo, and I said, everybody, when I walked in, I just automatically, my whole body just relaxed. I just automatically felt like I had this breath of fresh air, like, oh my God, I'm home. And every single one that I saw was like, we've always just known each other. Like
I
like
know.
everybody. It's like we've just always been a part of each other's lives. Like we've known each other before or something. And every single person in there, and there's a connection there, and a trust that was just automatic, like family. And then I finally found a place that I could go and I could be myself and I could relax and I could have fun and I could enjoy, and people and people liked me. I felt like
Oh my God, we had so much fun.
Yeah, we had fun.
We had a blast the moment she walked in. And Sheri's also the pyromaniac. We always burn something.
Oh, I love burning. When I started learning about manifestation and stuff, that was how I first learned, was the bay leaves, burning bay leaves and stuff. So, and the portals. Remember, I did all the woo woos and stuff on the Lionsgate portal and on the eclipses and then the eclipse portals, all those kind of stuff. And with each portal, you want to do a manifestation, and so we would talk about what kind of manifestation we would be doing for this portal, what we need, and then you write it on your bay leaf or you write it on your little piece of paper. What started that actually was when we went to that oak, ash, and thorn. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
When we went and she had that little circle thing and had that fire, and everybody got to write a petition. That was where the original idea came from bringing that up there and having everybody else do it.
Yeah,
remember, we were going to try to do something. We're going to try to do something similar to that. It was before the woo-woos really kind of took hold.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, because I think in the beginning, everyone had a really hard time making it, or if they did make it, there in the beginning, those woo-woos were so big. We would be, all those chairs would be filled. It was so exciting. It was so exciting that first year with the woo-woos. I can think about all of the energy.
We still had some really good ones. My dandelion one, the one with the flower power one, that one had quite a few people.
Yeah. And I missed the one that Shia did with the tree, and you guys got to ride on the tree and put it on the pedal. I missed that one, but did you get to do that one?
No, I didn't get to go to that one.
Yeah, everybody's always has some fun stuff to bring. The woo-woos have been a lot of fun through the last couple of years. They really have. So
I really need them. I need them for my social
meter. Your thing. They've always been your thing, girl.
Well, I need it because that's when I go there. I can recharge. You know what I mean? Like I'm feeling so overwhelmed and everything's so heavy and everything's so, hopeless. I just get so hopeless, but I can go there and I can relax and I can kind of, and be around people that I care about, that I know care about me. I can feel that's the only place in the entire world that I feel safe.
So does Piper react to crystals and stones and rocks?
No, not really. She likes to throw them. Yeah.
Well, that's about as good as I'm all right with that. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she doesn't really at all. She's pretty.
She likes Piper.
Yeah, she's pretty much just Piper. She likes music. She loves her music. She loves to dance. She likes SpongeBob and she likes Kids Bop and she likes her trucks. She's got, my daughter Micah gave her a whole bunch of old fire trucks from her son, and they make noise, and she sits there for hours and pushes buttons and laughs. And she loves the mirror. She'll sit in front of the mirror and blow raspberries at herself and just crack herself up. Just
and she'll just do that so funny
for at least an hour or two. I mean, she'll be in there just having a blast, and she's just sitting there looking in the mirror, just making faces at herself and laughing.
Let's see, I've met her a couple times in the store.
Yeah, I brought her a couple times.
But she was good too. I mean, I don't know if I think you were in and out with her too. I don't think you were sticking around too long.
I made sure that she didn't. Remember, I forgot who it was. Bear, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of watched her for me. She has to be hovered. She can't be left to her own devices. She has to be, because she has she likes to explore. She's a baby. She's just a very large baby, and she likes to grab things, and she doesn't really have much purposeful play skills. Mostly it's still the infantile where that they just explore and they take it and they want to see if it opens and how to take it apart, and they want to, you know what I mean? She doesn't like
Exploratory.
the exploratory, the infant type of play. So she does, when I take her like to the store. I can't take her to the store anymore because like Walmart, her arms are long enough that I have to hold both arms and try to, and she like grabs something. She'll like rake stuff off of shelves, or she'll grab something or grab somebody that walks by. And last time I tried to take her trick or treating, this little boy walked by and I accidentally let go of her hand and she grabbed a hold of his mask and his little hat and yanked it off. And the little boy started crying. His dad, I thought his dad was going to beat me up. And
oh no.
so
Poor
yeah.
Sheri. Sheri, you got your hands full, honey, don't you?
I do, because like at school,
You keep your sanity
it's 2 to
well,
3
though.
people to watch her. They have her teacher and a para and an assistant all the time. 3 people. And when they change her diapers, it takes 2 people to change her diapers, I'm one person and I have to do the job of all of them by myself.
It's hard.
It really is. I end up in tears a lot.
Do you think that you're going to consider doing therapy after, Piper's out of the house and you're by yourself? Or have you ever done therapy?
Oh, I've been in therapy so many years. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I could be a therapist myself, I think.
I feel that way too.
Yeah, I've been through. So I know all but I'm in therapy right now. Actually, I go to Creoaks. I see a lady named Michelle. I love her to death. And she
I
can
hear
do
a lot of good
Zoom.
things about Creoaks.
Yeah, she does Zoom meetings. So I don't, like, if I can't make it up there, she can just, and yeah, it helps. It helps a lot. I'll continue. I am definitely going to stay in it. But once she is able to move on and then I can get a job and I can support myself again, because right now we're having to live off of her Social Security, and my dad, who's 90 something years old, is having to help me try to make ends meet when I can't. And
do
I
you
feel horrible.
have you signed up for that program through DHS as a caregiver?
I've heard about it and I've talked to a couple people about it, but I haven't really been able to find any information on it.
Okay. So
I've got the respite vouchers.
So you can call, you can either call Sooner Care. I know that Sooner Care does it because they are always looking for PCAs. So private caregivers, something or another. My mom was always approved for a personal care person to come, personal care assistant or something to come to the house, but they didn't have enough in the area. So they told me that they would pay me to do it, but I never actually
I need to do something like that, because I get respite vouchers. They give me $500 a month respite vouchers to pay somebody, and it can be anybody I want, and it pays them up to $500 a month. And then I think it's like up to $25 an hour or something like that, and then you send it in and they pay them. But the last time I got them, I went the whole entire 3 months and could not find a single person that would do it for me.
Wow.
Nobody wanted the $500. And I was like, she's not really that hard. It's just at night when you got to change her and stuff. But other than that, she just kind of hangs out. But anyways. So.
Can you hear me? I kind of lost Sheri for a second.
Oh, I'm here.
Okay, I can hear you now. I think it was just a little glitch in the thingy. I'm sorry.
I'd like to know what else that people think that I should, maybe, like, ideas of new things I could put in the booth that maybe people would like. Because I've got towers, I've got spheres, I've got, I made the little sphere holder things. I've got, all the rough stones. I've got those all sorted out, because I really prefer rough stones. I got the carvings and all that kind of stuff because of demand, because that's what people were asking for and stuff.
Right.
But personally, I like the rough stones because I feel like that they have more personality. That once they're tumbled and they're polished, it kind of takes away their personality. It kind of makes them. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like they're stronger when they're rough.
I get it.
Yeah.
I feel like even just walking by your booth, there's a lot going on all the time, uh, energy wise. So yeah, I totally agree with it. But you know what? Your spot has been my favorite spot to get gifts for people, like throwing little gift bags or different things. It's just so easy to walk over there and grab a little spear and a little thing that meets someone's someone's into mermaids or someone's into elephants, or you've got
Mhm.
different colors and options to say, hey, without breaking the bank, I can toss $6 or $7 item in here that's very meaningful. So that's one
Right.
of my favorite things about your booth is something meaningful, but you don't have to dig deep into your pockets to get it. You can get it, but every December, I always
Yeah.
shop the store in your, but there's always some kind of a spear or something I love to grab. And then my
Yeah.
bat that you gave me, I love my bat.
Yes, those bats were cool. There's, one of the the difficult things about having that booth is when I get stuff off of an auction site, and so I can get it, fairly cheap. But I don't always get to, it's like as when it comes on there, I get that right. But when I get my shipment in, I have to get up to $200 worth of stuff for it to get free shipping, and then they'll send it to me. So it adds up. But then when I get it and I get my box and I open it up and I'm unwrapping it and I'm putting it all out in front of me, and it's like so much better or more beautiful than it was on the screen. You know what I mean? Except for the aliens. Now that was the different. Those were a whole different. But the rest of it, it's like so beautiful. And I don't
The
want to.
aliens were so cool.
I don't know, but oh my gosh, that was ridiculous. Okay,
Why?
so because so like the way that they showed them on the screen made them look like they were, like a good size, right? They were like made them look like they were pretty big, the way it looked, and they were like $65 to buy for that was for the the wholesale price for each one, $65 per one. But I was like, if they were pretty good size, they were really big, I could sell them for a lot more. You know what I
Right.
mean? They'd be worth a lot. So I was pretty excited about it. So I didn't have the money to spend that much on one singular item. I needed to buy a lot of smaller ones so that I can make more money off of them. But I thought, well,
Right.
if I get these and I can sell them for a lot more, then it'll be worth it, whatever. So I go ahead and I debated on it, and I finally go ahead and break down, and I get them, and I spend it was $170 on these,
Right.
and I get them in, and they're tiny.
Oh no.
They're little bitty, and and one of them's even got a little crack, like a nickel. And I'm looking at this thing, and I was like, "There's no way somebody's going to pay me $65 for this little bitty alien head, much less
Wow.
any more than I didn't make anything off of any. Matter of fact, that one alien head sat there for what 2.5 years. So I
Yeah.
finally basically gave it away for barter. I just
Well, that's because people just, even what's crazy is from the beginning of the store being open to now, I could still have a $60, $80 item in my booth and I would still at least sell it. It's crazy now where no one's really spending any kind of money like that at all. It's mostly little trinkety
Well,
things right
I've
now.
had a few things that people like. I've had a bunch of like some pretty good sized towers and some
Mhm.
really good sized spheres and stuff that sold for quite a pretty good price. And people buy those kind of things, but
Right.
they're you're getting your money's worth on them, and then
Your
they're really
expectation
and they're
was
big, and they're big and beautiful, and they're but these were just little, they're
and they
just
were so dang cute though, and I would have never known any of that about them because they were so cute.
I was so sad. I was like, I lost so much money on those things.
Frederick tried to buy a dresser off Amazon one time. It was a doll dresser. He said
Oh my gosh.
he was so excited about it. What how much was it, Frederick?
I don't remember what they cost, but I was getting dresses for the kids because they were moving to Oklahoma, and it was cheaper than. Well, probably actually, I'm sorry, they were more expensive than the ones at Walmart. 3-drawer plastic dresser, but they looked better, more sturdy, and I had them coming in Amazon. And when they arrived, they were just little bitty things for pencils and erasers and stuff. And I was shocked. I was so shocked that it came, that they were little like that. And it looked like the picture. it looked like a great dresser, for putting stuff in. But I don't know who would want a small miniature plastic dresser like that doesn't hold anything of any substance.
Probably for a dollhouse.
Well, back when I was
now, every time I buy on Amazon, I have that same concern. Is it miniature or is it the real thing? That's what you have to do. Nish, you have to really check those specs.
I've been there, done that.
When I was buying bulk, when I was first starting my wire wrapping things, and I was buying the bulk stones and stuff, I found this one, and it was for like $13, and it was close, and it was a whole bunch of different kinds of stones, and it was like looked really nice. And so I bought it, which it was more expensive than the others, but it had a lot of extra stuff in it, and it was pretty big. So I bought it, and I wait, and I finally get it in. And what it was the camera was up close, and it was literally like a 1.5 by 2 little bitty box of chips, like different kind of rock chips. You can hold it in your hand like
I don't know why I've gotten something with the wrong size before, but I've never really had a traumatic online experience yet. Thank God.
Yeah.
But Frederick's dresser story, every time I think about every time I see a dresser, we talk about dressers. I wasn't there. We weren't together then. So I have to mentally picture it. So I was going to ask you, Miss Sheri, outside of the store, are you involved in anything that you want to share about tonight?
Well, we have the retreats. We have Beltane, which was in April, and then we have the Hollow, which is coming up, which is spiritual and metaphysical retreat. That's coming up in October, and
can you explain what the Hollow is?
Well, the Hollow is 3 days of. There's 3 different paths that you can take, and there's classes, there's activities, there's really kind of hard to explain, honestly.
No, I feel like that sums it up.
Yeah, it's in Bartlesville, and we stay in cabins, like no, not cabins, but yurts. They're really cool yurts, and there's a big dining hall, but then there's like a chapel, there's a lake, there's kayaking. We do meditation, we do drum circles, we do, we also have a witch's ball on the last night, which is Saturday night, where everybody dresses up in their regalia and their hat, and all their stuff, and we go and we have a big dance, and that's really, really fun.
I got to do Beltane.
You really need to come to Hollow.
I'm gonna try.
It's along the same kind of basic idea, but it's a little bit different.
I'm going to give it everything I've got to make it to the Hollow. With me living in Eureka Springs, it's a huge deal down here.
I tell you what, it's life changing. I mean, last year when I went, I went on the very first year they started. I've been there every single year since. And last year when I went, I was in a very bad place, mentally, emotionally. I had a very traumatic breakup. I was with the guy that I thought I was going to be with for the rest of my life. He was telling me that we were going to be together. He was living with me. He was, and I found out that he was actually had a complete double life. He was seeing somebody else, and he was telling them he was going to marry them. And anyways, I don't know why that particular breakup affected me quite as dramatically as it did, because I've had some pretty bad breakups, but that one there, I felt like I was dying, and it was right before Hollow, and it was all I could do to make it there. And I felt like everything was falling apart, and I got there, and when you get there, everybody is completely accepted of everybody. There's all kinds of different people there. There's all kinds of different paths. There's all kinds of different beliefs and everything, but everybody respects everybody else's autonomy. They respect everybody's, right to be who they are, and they love everybody. Everybody loves everybody up there, and you're completely safe to be yourself. And I got there and I just basically fell in the doors. I was just, I mean, I was, but when I got there, everybody just kind of enveloped me and just wrapped their arms around me. So the 3 days that I was there, I went from complete devastation to a whole new awakening, a whole new outlook on life, a whole new everything. It was like literally life changing.
That
Did-
sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Did you start right? How did you hear about it? I guess is what I'm wondering. Was it from?
Okay, so Sarah Ann, JoJo, Sarah Jo, not Sarah Ann, Sarah Jo, you know her.
Mhm.
She see when you had the venue 40 whatever down the street.
Venue 402.
Yes, and you had that little spirit fair thing where
Yeah, she rented it from me. That's
and she
right. That's
came
right.
and she had a little booth in there and everything. That's where I met her.
Yeah.
Was when she was doing that, and I talked to her for a little while, and I helped her load her stuff, and she handed me an invitation to it. She said that she was going to be having this. It was at the time it's called Hedwig Hollow, and she said she was. It was a little get together, and she invited me to go. And at first, I was like, I didn't think I'd be able to, but things just kind of fell into place where that I was actually able to make it. And it was her first year of trying it, and we had it at a different place over in Sepulpa, I believe. That the first year was a different place. And when when I went, I tried to get a lot of other people to go with me, and everybody that I tried to get to go or said they would be that they were going to try to go. Not just you, but there was
I didn't have the
you.
money, girl.
There was you, and there was
I was too broke. I wanted to go. Make no mistake. I just couldn't
my
pay for it.
sister, my daughter. I had a couple of friends that were all. Nobody showed up. So when I was there, I was literally I knew nobody there. I'd only met Sarah Jo once, and I knew not a single person. But I got there, and when I realized that I was going to be on my own, I just decided to suck it up and make the most of it and represent the store, and just make the best of it. And so I did, and I embraced the whole thing, and it was really fun.
Is it by invite only?
No, no, I can. Do you not know how to?
We try to post it on the book. Michael does a lot of the promoting for them.
Yeah.
So I'll make sure that Michael starts he'll probably be picking that up due to the fact that it's getting closer to October. So we always have signs inside the stores, flyers, that kind of thing, and then they usually post on our page. So if you follow the page, Michael has a lot of insight because he does a lot of marketing for them.
There's a hollow page that you could go to and register to go, and
and I'm having a meeting with Tana on Tuesday, so I might be involved in helping marketing and stuff like that too. So that might start.
Oh, that's really cool. I usually teach classes at the Hollow and at Beltane.
Yeah, I don't want to teach anything. I just want to be my hostly self and help transfer.
Love it. I love teaching.
Well, you would like it, Nish. It's a blast. I mean, Sheri did invite me that time, but I couldn't afford to go, and neither could Neve, but we wanted to go really bad. We felt actually very excluded because we never ever got to go do anything with any of the vendors because we just had to be there to work. It kind of sucked.
Yeah.
We missed so much fun.
Well, I've gotten a couple of recent readings that have both talked about being more involved with social gatherings in a roundabout way.
Well, that's basically, there you go.
I was about to say they would love your
telling
energy.
You need to be there.
Yeah.
Very positive people.
Mindy goes too. And like last year, she's a kitchen witch. And last year she did a thing called Stone Soup. And where she taught, it was teaching us about the different ingredients, different foods, different plants, different types of, and how to put intention into them and what each one can do and what each one can mean. And it was really, it was really nice.
Mindy
really
has
cool.
a booth in the store. So like literally when I got to go, I saw like 4 or 5 of my vendors up there. It was so cool. It was a lot of fun to watch everybody spread their wings from opening a booth to that. Like it was honestly, I was soaking all of it up when I got to go. But yes, Tish, they're always looking for volunteers, people to help. The way I got to go was I'm volunteering to do something which is like helping network what's going on. So I got to go and enjoy the experience for free, but you pay back in being able to donate time. So I think you should do it, Tish.
The
I really do.
Hollow actually does have they do have a scholarship program thing
Yep,
you
that's
can
what I
apply
got.
for. If you can't afford it to go, you can apply for the scholarship. And they do, during the year, we do fundraising for, different things. And that helps to fund people who aren't able to meet the financial need part of it. So if you need help with that, Michael,
Yep. Yeah,
he's
and
the
you're
one
with
that,
Michael in the store, so you know how to link up with him.
oh yeah.
Yeah, so I got the scholarship. It was me or somebody else, and I got voted. And then after my involvement, just being there, Tana messaged me and she was like, "Hey, I kind of want you to be more involved in this." And I was like, "Okay,
Yeah. I've been saying
okay."
that for so long. I wanted you there. It
I
wasn't
know.
the same without you there. It was like every
You
time
know,
I'd go, I was like, man, Alicia needs to be here.
well, I finally got to get out of the store last year. That was the first time I got to leave the store in 4 years. So I was
I'm
like,
so
I
happy.
almost didn't go because I almost talked myself out of it. Because I kept thinking, I don't really know what I was thinking before I went. Um, I'll be honest with you, I've been hermiting up this last year and just resting and rejuvenating from the experiences of the store. And I am in a hermit mode myself right now, Sheri, and I'm having a very difficult time getting back out. Um, so I myself I had to push myself to go because even though I'm a bubbly person, I talk to everybody, I've been kind of recluse this year. And I I had to make myself go to that because I almost didn't go.
Well, the Hollow is full of people doing that exact same thing.
Yep.
Everybody that goes are all people who are hermited, who are alone, who, have their own. When we get there, all of us connect,
Yep.
and yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
and
I did a lot of
it's a safe
resting.
place, and you can relax, and you don't feel,
Yeah. And
overwhelmed.
when I went, Tish, everyone was kind of taking turns napping and relaxing. So we were doing the workshops, but if you didn't want to push yourself, I actually never have an opportunity to take a nap because I'm always busy. So once I started seeing people go taking like little hour to like little short naps, I did the next day. I was like, I have no shame in this. I'm gonna take a nap because I'm allowed to take a freaking nap right now.
Right.
So I did it. So I
Wait,
healed in other ways because it meant I'm so on the go so much. My experience with it was I got to slow down and it felt like being a teenager going camping with a bunch of my friends again. So
and
that was
relaxing and having fun.
and there were men and women staying in the cabins together, but you knew how to be respectful and you knew privacy because people were married and people, so
Right.
everybody, you picked your house or whatever. I just told them to throw me wherever they wanted to throw me. I just said, put me here. But I co-ed with like 3 other men, but they all knew to go to the bathroom and excuse themselves. And everyone was very polite and we all just kind of, yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I left crying myself. So I hear what Sheri's saying, and I think you would enjoy it, Tanisha. I really do.
Absolutely. And this year at the Hollow, so normally at the Hollow we have 2 different paths. We have the metaphysical path, or like just the spiritual path for people who are not into like witchcraft and things like that. And then we have the metaphysical. We have the witchcraft path, where like spells and altars and that kind of stuff, where you can just the spiritual path where you're learning about manifesting and vibrations and energy and meditating, there's 2 different paths you can take. And they have different classes for each one. Well, this year, they decided to include a third path. There's a new one called a sabbatical, where that when you can go and you don't have to go to any of the classes if you don't want to, where you don't have to, you don't have an itinerary. You can go to the different ones if you want, or you can just kind of do whatever. So, because usually at the Hollow, there's an itinerary for each path. You have, 10 o'clock you have a class, 11 o'clock you have a class, and you have dinner, and then you have this activity, and then you have this class, and you do that all day long for each path. And now there's the sabbatical one where you don't have You don't have that. So
And I think a lot of us took that sabbatical one on the
at Beltane.
Beltane. Now I missed one thing. I did everything. I gobbled everything up, including the walks, the yoga, everything. The only thing I did not do was one thing. And at that point, I was you go in there and you feel it's like going to a spirit fair. Tish, you've been to a spirit fair with me. You know
Yeah.
how much you get drained and how much you're also giving. So it was the same experience. I had to go step away because once I got there, I was able to get right back into normal Alicia mode. And then once I was turned on, I'm like a freaking circuit and I was letting out lots of energy. And I was like, whoa, I got to go back into the bed and take a nap and rejuvenate because I had given so much. Not that anyone was soul sucking. I was willingly giving so much energy that I depleted myself and I did go take a nap. But you get excited and you get happy and you feel like you're in the right place and you do get bubbly. You offer it up, you don't really, yeah. So I was like, okay, too much excitement. I
You
need
forget to
rest.
turn it off.
It's a curse. It's a curse for me. Neve calls it, Neve does not like going into Walmart with me because as soon as I walk into Walmart, I get like immediately like charged the crap up. And it takes a couple of hours for me to wean off all that. So,
This year
That's
at Beltane, I almost didn't get to go because of Piper. I had a hard time finding somebody to watch her. The girl that was supposed to, was gonna. I asked 2 months in advance, and then when it came down to it, 2 days before I was supposed to leave, then she backed out on me, and so then I was like panicked. But all of a sudden, it just kind of fell into place, and my girls, my other kids. I've got 8 kids. Okay, so
Oh, wow.
yeah, these are my last babies here at home, and somehow it just kind of magically fell into place where that they volunteered and they worked it out where that they watched Piper for me so I could go do this without me having to work. And the last year that I went, not this last one, but the one before that, the whole time I was there, I had this girl that was watching her, and she was, anyways, the whole time I was there, my phone was ringing off the hook. I mean, I had to put my phone away. I couldn't focus. I couldn't relax. I couldn't, because there was always a drama going on. There was this, there was that, asking that, the house, everything was falling apart when I was gone. And it was just just a whole stressful thing. It made it difficult for me to really, relax and enjoy and take in everything. Where this year, when I went, my kids did it for me. And that's the first time they've ever done anything like that. And the whole time I was at Beltane, I did not get one single phone call. Not a single phone call. No complaining about anything, no questions, no arguing, no, when you coming back, or like the year before when I gone to the Hollow, it was that girl, she wanted me to hurry up and get back because I don't know, there was a big ordeal with this guy, and I was literally 2.5 hours away. I couldn't show up. She's telling me she's going to leave her by herself, and it was ridiculous.
Right.
But I didn't have any stress. I didn't have to worry about Piper.
I know. I never saw you on the phone.
First time in years, I got to actually like relax, and I actually just got to enjoy myself and just have fun because I sat down the other day and I was trying to figure out, okay, so when Piper does go, and I have the freedom to be able to just do whatever I want. Or what do I want? What do I like? I don't remember what I like to do anymore. Yeah. I don't remember what I like to do anymore. It's like, yeah. I actually a couple of weeks ago, her ex stepmom babysat Piper for me for a couple of days. It was magical how it happened. I don't know. Sean, her dad, was not happy about it, but anyways, I got 2 days, and I came home and I sat down and I was in the house by myself, and I was like, what do I do? Do I call somebody? Do I go somewhere? Do I run around the house naked? I mean, what do I do?
All of the above.
Yeah.
Dance in the rain.
Oh, I do that anyways.
I know you do.
I'm obsessed with rain.
I am too. I feel you.
I plan my whole life around when it's going to rain.
Oh, I knew I picked a good song for you.
You did. That was a perfect song. I love that song.
I know. I thought it was too. And then the Pyromaniac in there.
Mhm.
Well, before we conclude, is there anything that you would like to give us a message, anything like that? Anything you would like to
Uh,
leave us with?
I don't know.
Check out what you got, what we need to request for in the booth.
Yes. I need some ideas of what people might want or need that I might be able to provide. I can do macrame. I do make jewelry. I have the stones. Um, I can pretty much make anything. Just I just have to have like a picture of it and I can reverse engineer it. So
Do you remember when I had a request for you to spell out a bad word for me?
and I did too, didn't I?
And someone bought those. Someone bought them. A sticker price tag fell off my stuff and onto them blocks, and someone bought them.
Are you serious? I didn't
I
know that. I thought
know.
you took them home. Well, I can make you some more.
Yeah.
Listen, people like naughty stuff like that. I'm just
Yeah, it was
saying.
the F word.
Novelty, novelty stuff like
That's
that
my
will
favorite word.
sell. Yes,
And it
mine
was-
too.
I said, I really feel like if you sold bad word blocks,
They would
they
sell
were
like
they
crazy.
were 2x4 scraps that people,
Yes.
that people cut like just the little blocks of 2x4s, and I sanded them and painted them, and you put a letter on each one, and it's the blocks,
Uh-huh.
And I did that for her. I'd done that with a bunch of different words and stuff, and she wanted me to do that. And I was like, hell yeah! So I did.
I loved it.
It turned out really cool too.
No, they did. And
I will totally make you another one if you.
whoever
if you
bought
didn't.
them, I'm sure they are enjoying them. I don't doubt it.
Oh, I'm
Mhm.
sure.
Well, Miss
Yeah.
Sheri, baby, I love you. And I've had
Oh,
so
I
much
love you
fun listening to
too.
you, even praise the store. Like, I love hearing feedback like that. It makes me feel like I've done something right.
Yes, I've watched you grow and learn, and I've seen you go from. I don't know how to explain it. From in the beginning when you were unsure and you were just learning stuff, but I've
Yeah.
seen you like where you were the people pleasing, and you had a hard
Absolutely.
time with the business part because you want to make everybody happy, and there's people complaining. Remember all the little
It's
issues and
still,
stuff.
it never stops, but
But
I've
I
learned to
saw you
manage
go
it.
from being just like crushed by it to
Yeah.
growing to learning how to
Yeah.
handle it.
I am still a people pleaser, though. I won't lie.
yeah.
I'm still a
Well,
people pleaser. I feel like you are too.
oh, well, absolutely. I mean, I can't help it. It's just me. I'm a Pisces. I have no choice.
What are you, Tish? What is your zodiac sign?
Gemini. I'm the twins.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
you
I've got 2 Gemini children, a Gemini X and a Gemini uncle.
Is
So
that
she
a
knows
good
all
thing?
about them.
Bless my heart, right?
Listen, my daughter's a Gemini too, and you can tell because sometimes we get along and sometimes we don't.
Right. Gemini women and Gemini men are a lot different. Like a lot of
agree.
the other signs, the men and women will still be kind of similar in their aspects. When it comes to Geminis, for some reason, they have a tendency to be very opposite, be very different.
Yeah, I agree on that. Like
Yeah.
Gemini man, I can never tell when a man is a Gemini.
Oh my
ex
gosh,
was
I think you're right.
Yeah,
It's
I've never
true.
thought about
that my
that.
daughter, my son, I have one of my, well, he's not my oldest son, but my son Jason, he's a Gemini. My daughter Micah, she's a Gemini. And they're both very different, but you can see the similarities too. I don't know how to explain that. It's really kind of, but both of
It's
them,
strange.
yeah, it's really cool though. Really cool. But Gemini and Pisces both of them have dual personalities.
Yeah.
I'm all
so-
here. Mhm.
Yeah, so we get along pretty good.
Yeah, I was about to say, and they seem very familiar in nature to a certain degree. Just because my son is a Pisces, and my mom and my sister were Geminis, and they're like very emotional,
Mhm.
but it comes from like hurt. When they're even mad, there's a sense of hurtful emotion behind it. And so I always tell myself, yeah, Memphis acts just like a Gemini because he's March the 2nd,
Well,
and he's emotional.
Usually whenever I get really mad about something, I've given somebody a chance after chance after chance after chance. I've given them the answers. I've told them, this is how to do it right, and blah, blah, blah. And they still continue to do stuff that, against me or hurt me or whatever. And so when I finally get mad, it's because I have, you know, I've told them and given them every chance, and they've chosen to do whatever it was that they did. So yeah, it's behind a piece of hurt. It takes a lot to get me pushed to that point, but I mean, it happened. Once I'm there, there's no going back.
Yeah, agreed. I hold it in, and then it just decides it's going to go.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm so
with
sorry.
Sagittarius rising and a Libra moon.
Do what?
I'm a Pisces with a Sagittarius rising and a Libra moon.
When you say the phrase rising, what does that mean? I never understood that.
It was the sign that was. I mean, it's like
on the
okay. So your sun
opposite?
sign is the one that's right above you. So the rising one is like one that's coming up behind, like in the constellation.
If you were looking at the wheel,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the one that's coming up that at certain different times of the day, then different ones like different ones influence. And like, okay, so in astrology, you're only 75% of your sign, actually. So
I believe that.
The rest of the other, however many, 25% is bits and pieces of all the other planets that were there in conjunct when you were born.
Okay.
So you have like the main one that affects you, but then like you have, and you also have weeks. Like I was born in the week of the loner. Each week is different too. So like the first week of a sign is more. You have some of the same traits as the former sign, but you're most, you're kind of into your sign.
So is this a woo woo that we're gonna do?
It can be. It can be.
Show up.
People do show up.
Yeah. Especially when it has something to do with zodiac signs, man. People love learning astrology because it's so complex. Where Nevaeh is working now, I mean, I know that they would like her to dive down that, I believe, but it's a very complex thing that years.
I'm still very much learning. I mean, I know some stuff, but like there's so much I don't know, like the trines and the sextiles and the different conjuncts and all that stuff. I know about the effects and the different influences. And I know, like, I'm a Pisces 2, which when you're the 2, that means you're the smack dab in the middle of the sign. So you're most of the sign than any other. You're more than any of the other. You're more of the characteristics or whatever, but I'm Sagittarius rising and a Libra moon. So that means that the moon was rising when the moon was was in Libra. Libra was the sign that was so Libra is more of a like balancing, balancing. Sagittarius is more kind of fiery. I don't know how to explain it. I was reading on it the other day. I got my little star chart done, and
so I'm a triple Virgo, triple Libra.
Wow.
Yeah.
That explains
I got a lot going on.
I like learning about astrology.
Do what?
I like learning about astrology because when I first started, I like learning about what make people tick, how to get along with people. Mm-hmm. So I started off with Linda Goodman's sun signs, and so then you learn about the Gemini man, the Gemini woman, the Gemini boss, and so you kind of learn how each one of them ticks and how they work, so that you know how to get along with them better. Mm-hmm. That was what got me into it.
Nevaeh uses them in her readings, whenever you're doing tarot readings and stuff, you can pull from an energy and right off the bat, that's a Leo man, just because the fire and the lion around him or something, and so I know that you even use all that even with your readings, like all that just goes into each other. It's so cool how it all works.
It is.
I can't wait to learn it all.
Me and Rosemary are the same. Are both Pisces with the Sagittarius rising. Did you know that?
I can see that.
Can you?
I can see that. I can see it right now. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing everything right now. That's too funny, actually.
That's pretty cool. I've never met anybody.
But y'all are some smart cookies. Y'all are some smart cookies, though.
Well, I used to be.
Oh, she's clutching her pearls. I love you, Sheri. This has been a blast. Would you ever come back and do this again?
Oh, heck yeah. Let's do it again.
Okay. I
I'll be
mean,
more
maybe we can
prepared
hit
next
you around
time.
your hollow time or something like that. You can, but definitely, Tish, I promise we'll get you the information so you can be a part of that because it is
Yes.
just like Sheri said, it's life changing.
Please come and you can share it. Me and Michael always share a yurt, and there's like six, two, four, six. There's 6 or 8 beds in there, and you could share a yurt with us, and we could all be in our little group.
I
And,
plan on going. That's the plan. So,
okay, that would
Nish,
be so cool.
Yes, it sounds like I really need to attend.
oh, you would like it.
You
It's,
do.
it's like a camping for adults, but you get to be childlike.
Yeah,
It's
and there's
it's
kayaking too. You get to go
it's
kayaking if you
it's a
want.
lot of fun. Well, we love
Yeah.
you, and until next time,
All right.
I guess that's
Yes,
it.
thank
Bye, beautiful
you.
ladies.
Bye.
Bye. You guys have a great night.
You
What
too,
do I
babe.
do now? Hang up?
Yep, he'll start hanging us up. Love you,
Okay.
Sheri, baby. It was wonderful.
Love you too.
I'm not very good at zippers. But maybe if I had some help.
I'll help you.
I am an expert.